Welcome to my channel, Know and Awaken Your Soul's Unlimited Potential. My name is Eva, and today I want to talk about, have you ever asked yourself the question, like, what is the point of me actually working on myself? Like, why do I need to go through this hassle of healing and developing and working on myself constantly? Like, who am I actually serving? Okay, so you might feel like everything that you do is not making a difference, especially if you're still relying on the external world to validate that for you. But I'm here to tell you that if this is your current struggle, that anything that you do, any kind of healing that you do for yourself actually impacts the collective. Remember that we are all connected, whether we know it or not, but on a spiritual level, like we are all connected, right? On a physical sense, it might look like we're very different, right? I mean, people in different continents, different countries, different cultures, different races, different genders. We might be very separated on the physical existence, but on the spiritual sense, remember, there is no difference. The spirit doesn't recognize gender, race, color, it doesn't matter. Like in spirit, we are all part of the one because we are all created by divine source, right? And you all have aspects of the divine within us. So we're all part of the collective experience, right? So any kind of healing that you have for yourself, even if it seems in the external world like it doesn't really seem to be having so much of an impact, trust me, the minute you resolve something within yourself, even though you're not able to see the results right now, eventually it's still adding up to the collective kind of experience, right? You've heard of families where probably like everyone just seems to be an alcoholic, from the grandparents, the children's children, right? Like alcoholism is something that they've carried from generation to generation until one child is born who just looks around and is like, yeah, I'm never going to touch alcohol again. And just by doing that, by making that shift, that child is actually able to help that entire family, all those generations, just resolve that alcoholism kind of trait, right? Because right now, the minute that child makes that choice to never take alcohol again, he shows these people what is actually possible. Remember, all along, maybe no one ever demonstrated to them the like how life would look like if they were not taking alcohol, because everyone around them takes alcohol, right? But the minute that you find someone else finding their own kind of like forging their own path that goes against what the so-called family or the so-called society deems to be normal, and actually having and creating their own sense of success, they actually create a new avenue or show like a new kind of possibility to the people around them. I'll give you also another example of like, have you ever had that story of a particular marathon where people couldn't hit a certain mark, and then one day one ran across that mark or was able to run that marathon within a certain level of time that could not be had ever, and everyone thought it was impossible until the moment that this one marathon runner actually managed to run the marathon within that time and actually open the door for so many others to be able to accomplish that. Remember that it had been so many years, no one ever thought it was possible, and just by this runner actually showing that it was actually possible, so many other people all of a sudden now started running the marathon within this particular time frame. And remember, for all those years, for all those decades, it had never been done. So the minute that you tap into a new aspect of yourself, even if you don't know it, you are actually inspiring someone out here. You might not know, because most people don't usually come to you and start telling you that, oh, that day you say this, it really touched me and I healed in this way or whatever. Like, most people will never get that kind of feedback from others, right? But even if they don't tell you, trust me, these people are actually watching how you operate in the world. You might start doing things differently, thinking differently, showing up differently, and thinking like, I'm not really making much of a difference, but someone within your circle is actually, even though they don't interact with you on a day-to-day basis, you're actually like unlocking a new set of mind, like a new set of possibility for them, because now they'll be looking at you and thinking like, whoa, this person really seems like they're really getting it in life. Like, they're so peaceful, they're so happy, they're so calm and all of that. Like, I want to be like them. And they'll secretly now start working on themselves just based on watching how you show up in the world. So it might look like you're not really doing much in the world by working on yourself, but trust me, you are doing a lot. There's an example that I've always wanted to share, way before I started this YouTube channel. Like I used to go for calls on a certain course that I was doing, so we'll have like online Zoom calls. And before, I was so shy. Remember, I've really worked on my confidence ever since I started my channel. So I was so shy those days that the point, even though I couldn't even like turn on my camera, let alone talk, like it was such an uncomfortable action for me to take, because I was always judging myself for how I was showing up. Maybe I wouldn't say the right thing, maybe I end up saying the wrong thing, maybe I'll not show up in the best way possible. Like there are all these kind of doubts and judgments within me that prevented me from even turning on the camera, right? But there's this particular lady up to now, like I actually don't even know or remember her name, but the way she just showed up in those calls, it really inspired me. And the sad thing is that I might never be able to actually tell her that she really impacted my life in such a huge way, just from her showing up as a most authentic version. So remember, I was just like in serious judgment of myself, right? Because I thought I didn't look right, I wasn't talking right, and all of that, right? And I thought because I'm judging myself, then other people are going to judge me. But when this lady showed up, and with an accent, and just not caring so much about how she looked, just showing up, asking the questions, interacting, being lively, and having her questions answered, it just kind of like shifted my perspective of like, hey, I don't need to look like this and this and this to show up in the world. I just need to be me. And people will resonate with that. And that literally is what even inspired me to show up on camera and do this, because I still have that mental image of that lady showing up in that way. So remember, you never know who you inspire just by you being yourself, just by you being the most authentic and healed version of yourself. Again, it might not look like you're doing much or even impacting the world around you much, but trust me, the very fact that you're forging a new path for yourself, you're already inspiring someone, you're already adding to the collective aspect of showing people what is actually possible. Okay, remember again, where people get lost is what or on what success actually is, right? Because they assume that, okay, fine, I might be on this healed path, but I'm not having the kind of success that other people around me are having. I don't have the cars, the money, I'm not traveling around the world, because this is what society has defined as success. But remember that what is successful to you is not necessarily what is successful to another person. For another person, just the very fact that they wake up every day and they're in the best mental state, like they're not depressed, they're not stressed about anything, they're just happy and peaceful and calm. And to you, you might not look at that as anything big or anything to be deemed as successful. That's huge. And someone just seeing you showing up as that will just think like, whoa, then that is actually possible for me. Okay? So really, anything that you do always adds to the collective, whether directly or indirectly. You're always inspiring someone. Always endeavor to show up as the most authentic version of yourself. Don't compare yourself. Don't waste your time comparing yourself to another person's journey. Remember, your journey is individual and unique to you. You cannot be like someone else. And just by you being you, you're adding to the collective in such a huge way. You're inspiring someone else to also help them tap into their most authentic version of themselves. And in turn, that other person will inspire someone else, and that other person will, and it will just be like a ripple effect, right? Just by you showing up as the best version of you, okay? So please, this is just for me to encourage you, right? If you're struggling with that, maybe you're doubting yourself, maybe I'm not doing enough and all of that, don't worry about that. Like, this is the message for you, that you're doing enough. Just by you being you're already done enough. And trust me, the world appreciates you just as you are. I hope my message resonated today. I didn't want to do a long video, I just wanted to share that with you. Hopefully I've inspired you. Share your comments down below. I'd love to hear your perspective on this. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet subscribed, and also click on the notification bell that's next to the subscribe button, so that you don't miss out on any content I share out here. And to help you really access this inner states of calmness, tranquility, and bliss in just a couple of minutes, if maybe you're struggling with your mental and emotional health, and maybe you're just feeling like life is just too much of a struggle, like too much pressure coming from the outside world, and you just want to come back within yourself and reconnect with your true self, reconnect with your higher guidance, I've prepared a beautiful quantum flow meditation to help you do just that in just a couple of minutes. So if you're curious about this and this is part of your struggle, you can check out the link down below in the description box. And the last part of my video, I always share how my work with the quantum flow and soul realignment can really help you awaken your highest and best potential. So I do work with quantum flow, which is based on working with breathwork, sound, and movement to help you rewire your nervous system and help clear all these unconscious beliefs, limiting beliefs and patterns, all trauma, all the emotional wounds that have been keeping you stuck for so long, right? And preventing you from actually tapping into higher states of being in your physical, mental, emotional, or even spiritual well-being. If you're feeling disconnected within yourself and literally different areas of your life are you just feeling like it's full of struggle right now, you might actually have a blocked chakra system within your body, which is where quantum flow comes in to help you rewire and clear all this stuck energy, get the energy flowing again within your body so you can actually embody your highest states of being in all these different categories of your life. So if you're curious about this and you're ready to walk away from all those old triggers, all those old stories that have defined you until this point, and you want to access your highest and best potential, you can check out the link down below in the description box. You can book a session with me, or if you have more questions about this, you can check out, book a discovery call with me, or connect with me on Facebook or Instagram and ask any question for me. The last modality I work with is called soul realignment. So soul realignment is all about working with the Akashic records. And the beauty of soul realignment is that it actually helps you identify your true soul identity. Who are you really created to be? What are your soul level characteristics that you're supposed to leverage in order to create the most authentic version of yourself in this lifetime? Remember that the minute you go against who you were designed to be, the minute you make choices that go against who you were designed to be, you create negative karma within your blueprint. And negative karma means that you do not have enough energy, vital force energy, to create more of the experiences that you want in your life. Better health, better relationships, better finances, and all of that. So if you want to identify who are you really, what gifts are you supposed to leverage to create a better human experience for yourself, if you want to identify what negative choices that you started making in your past life that you're still making right now based on the experiences and the people you've been attracting into your life currently, remember that a lot of the experiences that you currently have in your life right now have nothing to do with this lifetime. They're based on their past life choices that you keep on attracting the same people and same experiences over and over again in an attempt to help you resolve this negative karma within your blueprint. So most people get stuck because they have zero awareness of what negative choices they're still making on the day-to-day basis. So if you're curious about this and you're ready to really awaken this highest and best potential for yourself and heal on an energetic level with the Akashic records, you can check out the soul realignment session down below, book a session with me. Or if you have more questions, you can go ahead and book a discovery call or connect with me on Facebook or Instagram and message me with whatever questions you have for me. So again, make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet subscribed, and click on the notification bell that's next to the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any content I share out on a weekly and daily basis, right, with the shorts. So if you're curious about this, make sure that you subscribe and support my channel. And I'm so happy to have you here with me if you're watching this video. I'm sending you so much love, and I hope I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.